Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews, and welcome back to NEBR, New England Beer Reviews. And today, from Maine, from Bar Harbor, Maine to be exact, the Atlantic Brewing Company, this is their New Guy IPA. The New Guy IPA comes in with an ABV of 6.0% ABV. The Atlantic Brewery started out as the Acadia Brewery back in 1990, and then around 1998, 1999, somewhere in that ballpark, they switched over to Atlantic Brewery, and that's what they've been brewing under ever since. And this is their IPA, which is a beer that they do make available throughout the year. So Atlantic is a nice brewery. I've had a few of their beers and have always enjoyed them. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out. It is the first day of summer when I'm reviewing this, so why not go with an IPA on the longest day of the year and the first day of summer. So there goes the cap. And let's pour it into this glass. Tully's Beer and Wine Shop in Wells, Maine is really, I would say, one of the best stores in Maine to go find beers of all kinds. So I would highly recommend you go to Tully's in Wells, Maine, right on Route 1. It's in a Hannaford shopping plaza. You can't miss it. And I think you would be quite impressed with the beer selection that they have there. So let's give it a pour and see what we have here. Okay, pour it right into this glass. Get the whole thing right in there. There we go. Okay, I don't think I can put this anywhere where you can see it for now, so I guess I'll have to show it at the end. But anyway, let's take a look at this beer. It is kind of a pale yellow, orange, copper color. Very hazy, very cloudy, I must say. I'm not seeing any sediment or anything floating around, but it's definitely very murky, very cloudy. And that really, to me, is the way a lot of IPAs that I like tend to look. Not much of a head, but I did do a fairly straightforward pour. Nothing really aggressive or anything. So let's check out the aroma. Bread, biscuit, malts, that's what you're getting at first. But there's a nice earthy and not so much floral, but more earthy, down-to-earth hops. How's that? It's just very natural in that regard. A nice hop aroma, but it's just not something that overpowers the beer. It's an aroma that complements the pale malts that I'm also getting. Not much in citrus or sweetness is kind of moderate, but really getting a halfway decent pale malt character, biscuit, and bread, and the malts, they just don't blow me away. That's what I like about it. They are there to really balance everything off. They don't just overpower the beer, and that's what I really like when I'm drinking an IPA. Time to check out the taste. Okay, body-wise, medium maybe. Slightly astringent, slightly acidic. Not creamy. I wouldn't use the word creamy to describe it, or smooth so much. Got a bit of just kind of a sharp bite to it. But the rest of the taste, though, again, getting kind of a pale malt upfront character. And the hops, though, are there right from the start, and they linger a bit on the back of the palate, but they don't overpower, and that's really something I like. When I drink India Pale Ales, I look at India Pale Ales in the traditional way, the English-style India Pale Ale, in which when they first started making this style, way back when, hundreds of years ago, it was simply meant to keep the beer as fresh as they could as they transported it from England to the British colonies in India. And so it's not, to me, I don't think a beer, an IPA, should be overly hopped. Now, American IPAs tend to be really hopped, very bitter. English-style IPAs tend to be much more subtle. I mean, it's obvious that it's there, but it's more subtle and really balances the rest of the flavors, such as the malts and the sugar and the sweetness, out. And that's what this beer does. There's a kind of a tangy feel to it. I wouldn't call it citrus or anything like that. I'm not getting much in the way of citrus, but tangy would be a pretty good description, I must say. A very easy to drink beer, and really appropriate for the first day of summer. A beer that can be easily had during the summer months, I think. They only use one hop in this brew process. They use the Columbus hops. So now I'm not really familiar with that one that much. I mean, I've heard of it, but I've never really distinguished it in any way. But they advertise that on their website as that's the hops that they use, are Columbus hops. And you know, maybe that's why the hop sensation is a little more subtle, a little more laid back, a little more mellow. But at the same time, it just brings out a, you know, a low to moderate bitterness. Doesn't linger terribly long on the palate, but it lingers just a little bit, enough to kind of remind you that you've had it. Oh, there's a nice belch. I don't do that too often on my videos. I try to avoid that, you know. I'm trying to be, you know, polite, you know. But beer drinkers don't care. We all drink beers because we like to drink the beers, and if a belch comes along, well, a belch comes along. That's just how it goes. But this is a very likable beer, I must say. You know, I mean, I would rate it high. I'm not going to rate it, you know, top notch, but it's very easy to drink, very easy to like, very easy to enjoy. But there are some English style and American style IPAs that might be just a little better than this. But definitely a beer I would have again. You know, that's kind of what I use as my judgment. Would I have this again? And I think I would. I definitely would. And would I buy it again? Yes, I think I would, because it's a beer that's really likable, very drinkable, and just something that works out well for a day like today. So I'm enjoying it. So that's it for today. This is the Atlantic Brewery of Maine, the New Guy IPA. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.